Antifa is utterly humiliated at a Portland Patriot Flag Event as 5 Oregon counties vote to secede from their state. In this video, we're going to take a look at a major Antifa fail over the weekend, how 5 Oregon counties voted overwhelmingly to leave their ridiculous left-wing state, and how one astute pundit in particular is noticing a massive hurricane brewing outside of D.C. that's ready to blow the Democrats out of power in 2022. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone, patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, if this is your first time with us and you're looking for some daily encouragement and optimism as well as analysis to help you make sense of these crazy times, you've found your oasis in this channel. We post 2 videos a day analyzing current events in line with conservative trends to help you think better so you can feel better in these trying and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we jump into things here, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's collagen, available at my special website, healthwithsteveturley.com. Now, if you don't know, collagen may actually be the closest thing we're ever going to get to a real fountain of youth. Many health experts now agree that consuming collagen helps to renew and revitalize how we look and how we feel. Taking collagen regularly can revitalize our bodies, make our skins, bones, even our hair look and feel more healthy and youthful. I use it. I put it in my coffee in the morning. I think it tastes great. And if you click on that link below today, you're going to get 51% off your order. So do not wait. Click on that link below today and get your own collagen supply. You'll be glad that you did. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. We've got some fascinating news coming out of the state of Oregon. Let's start with a flag rally in Oregon City, just outside of Portland. Antifa radicals were trying to mobilize to stop a weekly event where hundreds of patriots gathered together and fly flags honoring America. There's, of course, Trump flags there. It's basically a wonderful America First gathering to encourage Oregonians who are currently living in the shadow of their collapsing city of Portland. Now, in the days leading up to the event, Antifa groups circulated a flyer online calling for their Marxist comrades to counter-protest the weekly flag waving near Clackamas Community College. And the flyer read, quote, "Oregon City is allowing fascists to continue and grow their weekly flag wave. If we don't put a stop to it, they will command even more control." Well, officials over at Clackamas Community College were so concerned that they actually canceled classes in light of Antifa's anticipated presence. But what ended up happening is that a bunch of Antifa radicals did indeed show up to try to intimidate these patriots and cancel the event. But unfortunately for them, the patriots far outnumbered the Antifa agitators. And so the Antifa agitators ran away. They were too intimidated by these flag-waving patriots. Our good friend Andy No posted on his Twitter a complaint from an Antifa member who whined about how many people have Antifa on their social media bios, but then no one shows up to oppose the patriot flag-waving gathering. So chalk one up for the good guys this weekend for sure. But gang, it gets even better. We did a video a couple of months back that you definitely want to check out, okay? It was on 5 counties in Oregon who were putting forward referendums for vote to detach their counties from the deep blue state of Oregon and join neighboring red state Idaho, okay? Oregon, of course, has been plagued with violence over all the social degeneration with the ongoing Antifa riots in Portland that we recently talked to on-the-ground conservative reporter Andy No about in our Insiders Club, which you can join by simply clicking on that link below. The state of Oregon has been, as a result of the electoral influence of Portland and its wider municipality, the state has been basically under siege by far leftists. And so an organization called Move Oregon's Border, which is also known as Greater Idaho, they've confirmed that the initiative to move swaths of largely rural eastern southern Oregon into Idaho did indeed qualify for the May 18th special election ballot in a total of 5 counties: Baker, Grant, Lake, Malheur, and Sherman counties. All 5 of these counties held a referendum on May 18th to vote as to whether to leave Oregon and join up with what they're calling Greater Idaho and forever emancipate themselves from the leftist implosion that is Antifa-ridden Portland. Are you ready for the May 18th results? All 5 counties voted to secede from Oregon. 5 for 5, my friends. All 5 counties voted overwhelmingly to secede from blue Oregon and join the deep red state of Idaho. Some of the measures passed by over 50 or 60% of the vote. Now, if this were actually implemented, take a look at what it would result in. Basically, 3/4 of the state of Oregon would be emancipated from the imploding city of Portland. That's how significant this vote was. 3/4 of the state of Oregon would leave. Residents in 3/4 of Oregon want nothing to do with Antifa-ridden Portland. In fact, this vote is so significant that if the referendums were to be enacted, Idaho would become the 3rd largest state in the union in terms of landmass. Let that hit you. Idaho would be the 3rd largest state in the union. I mean, absolutely amazing here. Here's how Mike McCarter, who's the president of Move Oregon's Border, put it, quote, "This election proves that rural Oregon wants out of Oregon. If Oregon really believes in liberal values such as self-determination, the legislature won't hold our counties captive against our will. If we're allowed to vote for which government officials we want, we should be allowed to vote for which government we want as well." And by the way, he is not done, this fellow Mike McCarter. He's pushing for similar referendums in other Oregon counties as well. And he's absolutely right, by the way. These votes, 5 for 5, show unambiguously that more and more rural Oregonians have had enough and they want out. They want nothing to do with it. Now, the legal, right, the actual legal and legislative outworkings of such a proposal, it's daunting, right? It would require not only the Oregon and Idaho legislatures to agree to it, it would also require the U.S. Congress to agree to it and all that. But regardless of what actually happens, the voters of Oregon clearly sent a massively unmistakable message to their state legislatures in Salem, their capital city, and the radical leftist activists disguised as a city council in Portland. The citizens residing in the vast majority of the landmass of the state want absolutely nothing more to do with the social and cultural eroding leftism. They have had it. And what we need to appreciate, that's what's happening in Oregon, is actually happening all over the nation. As one astute pundit put it, there is nothing less than a massive electoral hurricane brewing outside of Washington, D.C. But before we get into that, I do want to personally invite you to our brand new Patriot Entrepreneur Live event that we're holding on June 4th and 5th. It's a virtual conference for anyone interested in learning how to break free from your woke work environment and become financially independent. The beauty is because it's a virtual event, you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home, and you can secure your seat simply by clicking on the link below. And for this week only, we've got a special giveaway for you. You ready for this? Anyone who purchases a gold or platinum ticket will be entered into a drawing for a one-on-one video call with me, yours Turley, yours truly, right? Click on that link below right now and get entered into a drawing for a video call with me, your humble host. This offer ends this Friday night, midnight, when ticket prices go up, so do not wait. Click on that link below right now, and I'll see you for a weekend that promises to be a game changer for your life like never before. All right, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich wrote a fascinating article over the weekend describing what he called a major political hurricane building outside of the Washington, D.C. Beltway. And what he does in the article is he contrasts the Washington, D.C. gossip, the petty and pathetic nonsense that dominates the concerns and the coverage in the mainstream media, with the actual concerns that more and more Americans have over rising inflation, rising costs of living, the ongoing shutdowns in their schools, and the like. And what he notices is that if you look at what the mainstream media covers, it couldn't be more alienated from the actual concerns of hundreds of millions of Americans. For example, Texas Representative Dan Crenshaw was just on Chuck Todd's show, Meet the Depressed, right, as Rush Limbaugh used to call it. And all Todd wanted to talk about was the ousting of Liz Cheney and that stupid 9/11 style commission to investigate the January 6th riots, which of course is just a Democrat kangaroo court. And Crenshaw ripped right into this leftist activist disguised as journalist, Chuck Todd, and accused him of being totally aloof to the concerns of ordinary Americans. Quote, "In reality, we need to talk about the things that American people care about. I've got to tell you, this is not the subject I'm asked about. I'm always doing events and meeting with people. I never get asked about this. I get asked, why is there a rise in inflation? Why is there a border crisis? Why can't we get gas? Why can't I hire people? Why are people getting paid by the government to stay at home instead of coming to work? These are the things that affect people, not this internal drama. One of the reasons I agreed to come on your show is to basically say that this isn't that important to people. And what Gingrich is noticing is that this growing gap between the values and concerns of the inside the Beltway media class and the outside the Beltway average citizens is starting to show political consequences. Look at this. Larry Sabato, University of Virginia Center for Politics Director and Editor-in-Chief of the Crystal Ball newsletter. Sabato now has 19 incumbent Democrats in toss-up races, but only 2 Republicans. Now, when you combine that with counties voting to leave their states, along with, by the way, the referendum that passed in Pennsylvania last week to strip their ultra-leftist governor of his executive powers and end the lockdown, you have the makings what Gingrich calls a massive political hurricane that promised to sweep the Democrats out of power in 2022. Now, before you go, you'll definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how the Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has been caught red-handed violating her own COVID restrictions. We see for ourselves the photograph that's become an utter embarrassment for the ultra-left governor. How Big Gretch is but the latest leftist politician to get caught violating their own decrees, and how such violations are fueling a massive populist revolt like never before. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there.